All right, Shalom, first and foremost, I want to give all praises to the Heavenly Father and His only begotten Son, Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Rakakadash. Double honor to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone, and peace, love, and salutation to all you occupants pushing this truth and true sincerity. So this is Ecclesiasticus chapter 39, and it reads, "But he that giveth his mind to the law of the Most High's name is Yahweh, and His only begotten Son's name is Yahweh Shai, and is occupied in the meditation thereof, will seek out the wisdom of all the ancient." All right, reading the accounts in the scriptures. All right, reading the Psalms, reading the Proverbs, Ecclesiasticus, Wisdom of Solomon, and be occupied in prophecies. All right, so the main thing, all right, in his ministry, the main name game is prophecy. All right, which is to say before. So you see a lot of nonsense going around in Israel, which at the end of the day, it's all comical. All right, but we're starting to see this with these Israelites because they're not occupied in prophecy. This is 2 Samuel 3:1. Now there was long war between the house of Saul and the house of David, but David waxed stronger and stronger, and the house of Saul waxed weaker and weaker. Yeah, like you had this guy, Yahweh Maccabees, this nutcase, this Coca-Cola drinking nutcase, trying to pose some questions, man. We're not worried about your questions, man. You're supposed to be prophesying, but obviously the Lord took that spirit away from you, man. All right? You're just ashy and dusted and disgusted, man. You got this thing, this whole scandal with General Yohana, then you got this guy, Alazar, which I wouldn't show my face. But I didn't do all that nasty stuff. You know, he's showing his face again. Him and Tazariak are going at it. Man, who gives a you know what? All right? We're supposed to be occupied in prophecies because you're not going to get this from these other Hebrew Israelite camps. But somehow, some way, Great Millstone is the worst thing. It's like you buy some Jordan number 4s, you know the black ones with the red trim, and then you just step in a pile of dog, you know what? That's what you people think about us, man. All right, but we're out here giving you these prophecies and let you know what the business is according to the scriptures, man. All right. So I'm gonna read Ecclesiastes 3:1. Ecclesiastes: "To everything there is a season and a time to every purpose under heaven. A time to be born and a time to die. A time to plant and a time to pluck up that which is rooted, that which is planted. A time to kill and a time to heal. A time to break down and a time to build up." This is all about balance right here. "A time to weep and a time to laugh. A time to mourn and a time to dance. A time to cast away stones and a time to gather stones. A time to embrace and a time to refrain from embracing. A time to get and a time to lose. A time to keep and a time to cast away. A time to rend and a time to sow. A time to keep silence and a time of and a time to speak." And the prophets are speaking right now. We're not, you had this guy Tazariak go to him and his associates of the ISUPK. They wanted one of them, what are them guys called, man? One of those platforms like Fresh and Fit talking about relationships, man. Look, man, we're not in time for that, man. Okay, what you do with your woman is between you, as long as it's lawful. All right, these guys trying to get out dating advice. They're trying to be seen, man. All right, you guys are keeping silent with the prophecies. We're speaking. All right, starting with Apostle Tahar on down, and those younger brothers, man. We speaking right now. All right, there's constant videos going up. A time to love and a time to hate. Hey, we ain't no time of love, man. All right. Even with these women, man, these women, that's another topic for another story. But you see all this, you see all this tension between, all right, the two genders, male and female. All right, there's no time of love out here, and a time to hate, a time of war and a time of peace. We're in a time of war. We're not in a time of peace. Isaiah the 2nd chapter is not happening, and it's not happening with those Israelis over there, man. All right, so read your article concerning prophecy. Now, this is from March 23rd, 2025, yesterday. Iran opened challenge to the United States, set up missile systems at three disputed islands near Strait of Hormuz. Iran controls Greater Tum, Lesser Tum, and Abu Musa Islands near the Strait of Hormuz, a globally vital shipping lane, while the United Arab Emirates also stakes claims to it. Now, here's a map just to paint a picture of the Strait of Hormuz. And it looks like Iran has the home field advantage right there because this is the Tum B, Abu Musa. Right here it was the other one. All right, and this is the Strait of Hormuz, man. All right, and you have the United Arab Emirates that claim some stakes to the Strait of Hormuz as well. All right, so a lot of things are going on in the so-called Middle East. So let's read this article. It says, amid tensions with the United States, Iran on Saturday flexed its military muscle by installing its missile systems on the three disputed islands near the Strait of Hormuz. As per reports, the weapons were deployed on Greater Tum, Lesser Tum, and Abu Musa near the Strait of Hormuz, a globally vital shipping lane. Iran's claim that fortifying the islands can help target enemy bases and vessels is seen as an answer to the United States and its allies in the region. But through the move, Tehran also seeks to reassert its ownership over the three islands. The islands located along a globally vital shipping lane have been a bone of contention between the United Arab Emirates and Iran for decades. Tehran controlled the islands since 1971 at the end of British imperial rule over them. Iran's Revolutionary Guard Corps, IRGC, missed no words when it stressed how the new system can destroy any target from 370 miles, 600 kilometers. We have a tactic that we must arm. So they arm it to the T, man. They say it's on sight. All right, from a lack of better words, it's on sight. We have a tactic that we must arm the island group and make it operative, said Ali Reza Tangsiri, naval commander of the Islamic Revolutionary Guard Corps, the ideological branch of Iran's military. We are capable of attacking enemy bases, vessels, and assets in the region, he told state television. So, what place is near that region, man? Those Israelis, man. And any other enemy, all right? The IRGC held military maneuvers in the islands recently, which sit at the route for oil tankers leading from the Gulf to the Gulf of Oman. Over 1/5 of the world's oil passes through the region. So, hey man, a lot of money coming through there as well. A drill was also held in 2023 to show its willingness to defend three disputed islands that the United Arab Emirates claims as its own. Then the IRGC unveiled a new vessel armed with missiles with a range of 600 kilometers. I believe that's 370 miles. It has also installed FAF ballistic missiles with a range of 120 kilometers and Gadir cruise missiles with a range of more than 300 kilometers on the island. IRGC Navy also held drills simulating the defense of disputed Gulf islands. So Iran is ready, man. Iran's increased presence in these islands have also triggered the United States into deploying additional soldiers and amphibious assault ships and landing ships over the fear that Iran could threaten the free flow of commerce in the Strait of Hormuz and surrounding waters. Now we get another article. It's from jns.org. Whilst Iran in worst place since 1979. All right, and this is from the United States Security Advisor Mike Waltz. All right, this guy right here, this Edomite. Iran must completely dismantle its nuclear program, including enrichment and weaponization, as well as its strategic missile program, said United States National Security Advisor Mike Waltz, which is not going to happen. The United States National Security Advisor Mike Waltz said on Sunday that Iran was in the worst place it has been for its own national security since 1979. while reiterating the Trump administration's stance that Tehran must dismantle its nuclear project. And this is the hammer of the whole earth, Babylon, trying to tell these other nations what to do. Hey, let's get that precept. Are we done with that one? Jeremiah 51 and 7, 51 and 8. Jeremiah 51 and 8. Babylon had been a golden cup in the Lord's hand that made all the earth drunken. They've even made the so-called Middle East drunken with their philosophies, their democracy. And all they're doing is going in there and taking stuff that doesn't belong to them. The nations have drunken over wine, her fornication, democracy, feminism, LGBT, you know what I'm talking about. Okay, the money system. Therefore, the nations are mad. They're not trying to hear all that from the United States. All right, this point in the game. If they had nuclear weapons, the entire Middle East would explode in an arms race. This is completely unacceptable for our national security, Waltz said in an interview with CBS Face the Nation. The United States official attributed Iran's precarious state to the recent setbacks of its proxies, the Assad regime in Syria, Hamas in the Gaza Strip, and Hezbollah in Lebanon, as well as to the destruction of Iran's air defenses by Israel. So basically, Mike Waltz, let me read that again. The United States official attributed Iran's precarious state to the recent setbacks of its proxies. So basically, they're saying, you guys got a lot of setbacks, man. What you gonna do, man? You guys need to stop. You guys need to stop right now before you get too ahead of yourselves. That's what the United States is saying. When asked to clarify the White House demands with regard to Tehran's nuclear program, Waltz was unequivocal. Full dismantlement, Iran has to give up its program in a way that the entire world can see. As President DJ has said, this is coming to a head. All options are on the table. And it's time for Iran to walk away completely from its desire to have a nuclear weapon. They cannot be allowed to have a nuclear weapons program. That's enrichment, that is weaponization, and that is its strategic missile program. So you see the back and forth, all right? All right, you see the back and forth. And we're in a time of war, man. Okay, missiles. We're not in a time of peace. All right, for you so-called Black, Hispanics, and Native Americans, man. I'm going to get this precept. Proverbs 20 and 24. Man's goings are of the Lord. How can a man then understand his own way? Now, that's listen to know-how. We know that even these, the Lord seals our instructions when we get up. Lord willing, we wake up and see another day. But the Lord is sealing the instructions of these world leaders. Read Job 33 and 15. Okay? Because the Most High has to fulfill his will, man. All right? This is not the will of man. He's just using men as pawns and puppets in the form of these world leaders to do this. Let's hit this right quick. What is that, man? Joel, 3rd chapter, if I'm not mistaken. And this is just an introduction to the week. Just being occupied in prophecy, man. When I can do some more lessons on, do some more research before I even drop a lesson on prophecy this week, along with some other lessons. This is just introduction to the week. Lord willing, this lesson is edifying. Joel 3 and 1. The nations will be judged. That don't sound like God loves everybody. Oh, that's in the Old Testament. Doesn't it say I come in the volume of the book in Psalms 40 and 7? Doesn't it say in 2 Timothy 3:16 that all scriptures are inspired of God? So what are you talking about? The Lord has just blinded you that you can't see it. And you got all these Christians still coming up. Hey, you should be worried about World War III. All right, especially you Edomite Christians, because guess what? They trying to get rid of Jake for having razor bumps, but you should be having razor bumps for shaving your beard. But they're trying to get rid of Jake in the military, namely the so-called black man from the tribe of Judah. All right, you so-called white Christians should be worried about getting drafted out here, man. All right, because we're in a time of war. Joel 3 and 1. For behold, in those days and in that time, when I shall bring again the captivity of Judah and Jerusalem. All right, we're going back to Israel, man. Lord willing, that first go around, looking at the destruction of Babylon the Great. We're not going to be clocking in and going to work when all this stuff goes down. Nobody's going to be clocking into a job when they're getting beamed up on a chariot, man. That's going to be the end of our captivity. And that's prophecy. We're waiting for that second deliverance, man. I will also gather all nations, all these other 17 nations, and will bring them down into the valley of Jehoshaphat, Yahweh and will plead. He will judge with them there for my people and for my heritage Israel. That's the Lord's heritage, Israel, not the whole world, not those Israelis. Israel, all right? Whom they have scattered among the nations and parted my land. And they have cast lots for my people. Hey, the sub-Saharan slave trade, the transatlantic slave trade, all types of slave trades. Even the Northern Kingdom got sent to Spain after Christopher Columbus sent his funky ass over there to where the Taino Indians were at. All right, the island of Browick. I can't even say that, pronounce my life, man. Boricua. All right. Puerto Ricans call themselves Boricans, right? That's the island. All right. So Esau has to pay, and these other nations have to pay for what they did to the children of Israel. So this should be good news for you blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans. But you ones that aren't hip to this message, you're just a homeborn slave. Okay? And they have cast lots for my people and have given a boy for a harlot and sold a girl for wine that they might drink. Hey, you watch Goodbye Uncle Tom, man. I need to watch that again. That's going to increase my strong dislike for Esau Edom. Okay, once again, even in that movie, they had and Elder Malcolm and the elders of the Chicago camp mentioned this last night. Even on these plantations, they had plantations that strictly deal with breeding, where Jake will just be having sex with these women and knocking them up. And they showed that on Goodbye Uncle Tom. They showed little boys dressing up as little girls. They sold them a boy for a harlot, man. That's prophecy, man. All right, so the Lord is going to judge these other nations for what they did to the nation of Israel, man. And this is just an introductory lesson to this week, man. This is why the Lord is doing what he's doing, all right, to bring about World War III, okay? And some major prophecies we still have to wait on. We have to wait on Jeremiah 49 and 20, where the least of the flock shall drive them out. The least of the flock is talking about Amalek, those Israelis, all right, attacking Iran. And guess who's going to get involved with that? Russia. Matter of fact, before I get this one, that was one I wanted to get. I think it's Jeremiah 50. Yeah, it's the previous chapter. Excuse me. Jeremiah 50. And we see it. You got the right guy in the White House to start this up, man. Jeremiah 50 and 11, if I'm not mistaken. Verse 9. For lo, I will raise and cause up to come up against Babylon an assembly of great nations from the north country. That's first and foremost talking about Russia. And you go to Ezekiel the 38th chapter. His allies, Persia, which is Iran, Libya, Ethiopia, Turkey. All right. These other nations are gearing for war. An assembly of great nations from the north country, and they shall set themselves in array against her. From thence she shall be taken down. Their arrows shall be as of a mighty expert man. None shall return in vain. Those arrows are talking about those intercontinental ballistic missiles. Okay. I'm looking at something on my phone right now that says, this is from Crux. It says, will strike from Iran deploys new missiles at Strait of Hormuz. That's just what I read. So what time do you think we're in? The time of the saying happy, happy, joy, joy? No, we're in a time of prophecy, man. And we're warning our people to get right with the Heavenly Father before this happens and you get caught up in World War III and get burnt. Okay? So, one more precept. Revelation 11 and 14. The second war was passed. World War II. That was from what? 1938 to 1945. The Allied powers versus the Axis powers. Ending in what? The destruction of Hiroshima and Nagasaki. Before that, you had World War I, 1914 and 1919. All right. So those woes refer to wars. The second woe is past, and behold, the third woe cometh quickly. World War III. All right, we're in the stages of World War III. We're in the stages of Jacob's trouble. Okay, we're in the stages of the mark of the beast in Revelation 13 and 16, and no, it's not sin. That is ridiculous, man. You guys keep chopping and screwing the scriptures, man. The Lord got something for you. All right, you didn't see what happened to this guy, the peg master. You guys better be careful with these false doctrines, man, for the Lord exposes you in front of all of Israel, man. Hey, so with that, we just got to be occupied in prophecies, man. There's a lot of stuff going down, and the scriptures talk about watch as well as pray. So with that, Lord, when I was edifying, and to the next one, shalom.